I made a video not too long ago highlighting how you can get access to GPTs ahead of time in anticipation of OpenAI opening their official ChatGPT store early next year. But after going through hundreds of custom GPTs, I want to bring you what I feel are the best GPTs. The first one I want to start with is Sparkle, the storybook maker. So if you're somebody who is looking to create a storyboard, maybe you want to sell a children's book or you want to make an educational book, Sparkle really gives you all of the tools that you need in order to create an effective story. What I'll do is I'll give it an example. So I'm going to start with create a children's storybook about a friendly lion who overcomes his fear of broccoli. So as you can see, Sparkle gives you the title, the main character, it even names the character, it gives you the setting, it gives you the plot outline from beginning, middle, the huge climax, and the ending, and then it comes up with a message for the story. What is the reader going to learn by the end of the book? And it even gives you suggestions about an illustration style, and it gives you the book layout in terms of how the pages should go. Now, I could clarify certain things with Sparkle to craft it more to my own desires, but you don't even need to do that. You can use Sparkle just completely as it is. You can then take the story and use DALL-E to create the images and another platform to add in the text, and then you've got a children's book ready to go, ready to sell on Amazon or wherever your online book selling platform is. The next one is Interview Wizard GPT. What this is this is an interview prep GPT that can help you with fine-tuning your interview skills, offering professional development insights, and really giving you a preparedness and a readiness going into a new job or going into a job interview. I took a job description for a program manager from Google's official website, and I posted the responsibilities here. And what Interview Wizard GPT did is it analyzed those responsibilities and it gave me an indication of what I could potentially expect from an interview perspective based off of the requirements of the job. And so you can see here it's gone through every single one of them, and it also gives you an idea of using the STAR method to respond effectively. And if I wanted to follow up with how can I prepare, Interview GPT outlines a structured plan in order to get myself prepared to really do well in the interview. And you can see here as it goes down, it's very structured. It gives me very specific tasks to look into. The next one is Healthy Chef. Of course, given that we're leading into the end of the year and going into the new year, a lot of people are making New Year's resolutions. They want to understand how to eat healthier, how to do better when it comes to their own food consumption. And Health Chef is primed to help people who are looking for something like that. So one of the questions is, what can I cook with these particular ingredients? So I'll give it an example. So I'm asking it, what can I cook with potatoes, asparagus, and turkey? Now, for some GPTs, it does call on another website in order to get the information and bridge it together. So what Healthy Chef is asking me here is it wants to talk to an API called spoonacular.com, and it's really up to your discretion whether or not you want to allow this. For this example, I'm going to do that. So when Healthy Chef finishes, it's indicating that I can make a roasted turkey with asparagus and potato medley. It even uses DALL-E to generate a picture of what it would look like. And then I'm going to follow up with the instructions. And here we go. So it lists out the ingredients. It lists the exact instructions from preparation all the way to the final result. The next one is SEO Goat. This is a GPT that is an AI blog writer, but it incorporates SEO expertise into anything that you want to create. So I'm going to ask SEO Goat to write a blog post about a recent trip to Italy and why the reader should choose this country as their next destination. So as you can see here, SEO Goat has done a great job of creating a title, writing an introduction, highlighting specific points about why someone should choose Italy as their next vacation, which cities they should be exploring and why, the pros and cons of traveling to Italy, specific website ratings from very popular websites, and then also giving some statistical data and FAQs to go along with the conclusion. Now, I didn't ask SEO Goat I didn't specify with SEO Goat to include any of these things. It just did it completely on its own, and it's a great tool for bloggers to use or social media creators to use so that they can create really quick and robust text to use in whatever format you wish. Convert anything is the next one, which is a great file converter. It can convert any format to any other format that you wish. And it does it very quickly and very easily. And so what I'll do is I will upload an image. And I've uploaded an image of the Roman Colosseum, and I'm going to write here, convert this image to a PDF. So the image has been converted, and convert anything will give you a link here. So if I click on it, and then opening up the converted image, you'll see here in the top left corner, it's been converted to a PDF. The next one is GPT Idea Evaluator. This one's really neat because if you are somebody who is thinking about creating a custom GPT, and I have a video on that as well, which I'll link at the end, but you can go to here and you can actually type it in and see whether or not it's a good idea to create. This will be useful when OpenAI launches their official GPT store next year, but if you have an idea of a GPT that you want to create, you can use the Idea Evaluator to rate it, and it'll tell you why. So I'm going to ask it an idea here to indicate that I want to create a GPT which is all about traveling to Japan. So you can see the end result is GPT Idea Evaluator indicates that this is a 9 out of 10. And it goes on to list the reasons why. So it talks about, specific use cases, which is the rating it just gave. It talks about demand and repeated use. So how often would people be reusing this? It also gets into difficulty of replication. It's a little bit more in the mid-range. And it talks about monetization options and uniqueness, and it gives it an overall score out of 10. And it also gives you tips on improvement and how to improve the GPT itself. So this is a great one for all you creators out there who are thinking about creating a GPT when OpenAI opens their official store. The next one is Logo Creator, and you can approach this in several different ways. You can ask it to generate a logo just completely on its own, and you can do that by giving it text prompts. You can also use OpenAI's API and generate a logo as well. That's pulling in information from DALL-E and other sources. But you can also draw something or create something and then ask it to create a logo based on that. So I've created a logo very quickly in the freeform application, and I've asked Logo Creator to create a logo based off of this. Logo Creator will ask you a series of questions, but you don't actually have to follow them at all. You can simply tell Logo Creator to choose what it feels is best. But as you can see here, the end result is an emblem style. While it didn't quite take in the picture of the wolf, I do like the end result, and it's something that you can use if you're starting your own business or you're trying to create an online presence and you don't want to pay someone for graphic design or creating a logo. You can just leverage your ChatGPT Plus account and Logo Creator, and you can go ahead and you can create a logo to your choosing. The next one here is Tech Support Advisor. This is one that is officially created by OpenAI, and so you can leverage it by finding it in the Explore tab on the left-hand side. But really what this is it's a very fitting GPT that can help you with all things tech. So let's say you're technically advanced, but maybe there's some aspect of some kind of setup that you're not quite familiar with. You can leverage Tech Support Advisor, or maybe you're somebody who's not really that tech savvy, or you don't want to spend the time investing in how to figure out how to set up a printer or how to use a specific app. You can come to Tech Support Advisor and you can ask it questions. The example I'm going to give here is I'm going to ask it how to use the Uber app and can it help. As you can see here, Tech Support Advisor gives you a complete list of instructions that you can follow if you need to know how to use the Uber app. The next one is Prompty. Now I've actually created a video on how to create a perfect prompt every single time, and again I will link that at the end. But Prompty is your own personal prompt engineer. So if you don't have the time to learn how to create specific prompts, you can use Prompty to do that, and it'll actually help you improve the prompts that you put in. So I'll show you an example. So the prompt that I gave it was create an image of a turtle, and I was thinking back to the previous example of using Sparkle where we were talking about creating a story. And what Prompty does is it'll state what the objective should be of the prompt. It'll talk about some of the constraints based on the prompt that I provided. It'll then go on to share how to actually improve the prompt and how to identify pitfalls and considerations to improve it. But the best part about it is Prompty will actually improve the prompt and give you the improved prompt at the end. So you can just literally copy it here and then put it into DALL-E or whatever, or Sparkle or whatever GPT or platform that you're currently using, and you have the improved prompt that a prompt engineer could also help you with. Those are the best GPTs that I found after searching through hundreds of different ones. Let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.